So the next step is to observe your hand and the object when you draw or as you draw. So what I did was I took, and I printed these out just so I could show them on the video. I took pictures of my hand holding 7 different objects. And I wanted to make sure that the position of my hand changed in each of the photographs. So I wasn't holding the objects the same way over and over again. Okay, I now can choose 5 or more, but I'm going to choose 5 objects that I want to draw. And I'm pretty sure that I want to do the baseball. So I have the baseball here, and I have my hand holding the baseball as I want it. Okay, so I'm going to take a pencil, and I wanted to make a short video showing you guys how to observe your hand and the object as you draw it. So, sticking with my rule of thirds, this is about that center point that I'm looking for on my paper, one of the cross marks. So, I'm going to start drawing there. And when I observe, I'm looking at the negative spaces. Let me see if I can get it right. I'm looking at the negative spaces, not just the positive spaces. So I am looking at my hand. Sometimes it helps to close one eye, but I'm going to follow the line. So I'm working on my thumb, just so you'll know where I am. And I'm following the line with my eye and moving my pencil along with it. So I stopped. I have a good reference point. Here's my thumbnail. I'm coming back here. Here's where I start to put in details. I'm doing details before I do the whole object. You can do either way. I like to go on and start in one spot and get at least my basic details down before I move on. And that leads me into the ball. I notice that the thumb overlaps the ball here. And then about this much space exists before I start seeing another finger. Now, I may have to stop and erase because it looks like I've given it too much positive space, and I need to come in a bit. So I'm getting rid of those lines, okay? No shame in erasing, folks. There's another gap, and then there's another space, or rather another finger. The gap was the space. Another gap, another finger. This time the finger overlaps a bit. And I'm following along with my eye as well as my pencil. And so that's basically how you observe. So I hold the object, I observe it, and I draw it. Another option would be to look at your photograph. So I could instead look at the photograph of my hand holding the ball and draw from it.
Good morning, everyone.
If I'm working from my photograph, I still have to pay attention to the negative spaces. Like this gap here, this gap here. I want to make sure that that space remains the same as in my photograph on my drawing. So like for instance, I notice this is almost a 90-degree angle at this point. I want to look at the angle here. So I want to look at those areas around the object in the hand, not just the hand in the object.